I'm Mona Luqman, founder of Food for Humanity in Yemen and co-founder of the Women Solidarity Network. Well, first of all, I've spent years focusing a lot on peace and justice, but before that also on humanitarian work. When the war happened in Yemen, I was in a city called Taiz, and the city is besieged from both sides, and people there are living a very tough life without any food and water. And I just couldn't watch them without doing something. So what I did is that I went out and I started providing food for them and water, specifically water, because it was very scarce. And I think what really motivated me is watching the young youth who had joined the battles. I really felt that there is such a need for more, first of all, to stop the hate speech and try to prevent more violence. It was a ridiculous example of the way that women are really perceived. What happened is that I was advocating with one of the ministers who was part of the delegation during the peace talks for Yemen. And I approached him with my colleagues and we told him about the importance of women participation. And he bluntly said to us that there aren't enough chairs. And then we insisted, we were saying, trying to convince him that of the importance of the women participation in the delegations and how we have been working on releasing detainees and other issues and opening humanitarian corridors and calling for ceasefires. And he actually told me that there aren't enough chairs. And we were really appalled and shocked. And so I just said, do we have to pick up our guns so that we can be heard? Because that's what's happening now. And it really annoys me so much. It's so frustrating that the women always have to clarify why they need to be at the table. But for anybody else, the warring parties, specifically men with guns, they don't need to prove anything except that they can kill. Why do we need the men? What do the men bring to the table? So this is what the question, the narrative should really change, not what the women bring. It's really what's missing at that table. What we see right now is the old school method way of just having warring parties and the battlefield, and that's it. And everybody else is excluded until they pick up guns. And that's really rewarding the warring parties. And it's also rewarding violence in general, and it's not effective. If you just quickly scan the conflicts that we have, specifically in the MENA region and in general, how much have we really positively impacted in these peace processes? How much has of these conflicts have really been solved? The women bring the conflict dynamic analysis of what's really going on in the ground. And that means that we have better solutions and more effective solutions that are more sustainable and that reflect the community itself. For instance, the women of abductees currently are releasing detainees. Other women are combating COVID-19. Others are implementing solar projects for water projects in Yemen. The real peace efforts that they bring come and stem from the ground. They come from the bottom-up approach. They work on social cohesion. Because at the end of the day, the war will end, but what is left is a destructed, violent community where they have used hatred, they have used violence, they have used every single way of evil to mobilize the people to fight against each other. And what will be left is a very violent community. And this is what the women are working on. So if we're really trying to think of sustainable security and peace in our communities, we really need to bring the women in and we need to listen to them. I think that it's really important to acknowledge that women respond. They feel the responsibility. Somebody has to do something and it has to be us. That's what I always feel. I feel this responsibility. I always say the community that we're going to leave for our children and even for now, is our responsibility. So what do we want that community to look like? A violent community again? More violence, more war, more bloodshed? I want a community where the children of Yemen and the world do not have to risk their lives while they're playing in a playing ground, while a bomb comes down or a bullet shoots them from a sniper. I want a safe community, and I will do everything in my power to get there.